Hello there, YouTube. We are back with some more Matchplay commentary for y'all. I'm joined by my brother from another mother, the highwayman himself, TJ. Oh, that's a new one.
Yes, we're switching it up. The duck has evolved into a
peacock.
I'll figure out. Yeah, that's probably actually. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with peacock. I peacock a lot, so.
But we've got some matches for y'all from Sully's Abode, which is the local card shop that we go to every Thursday for Digi. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, great local card shop in Bolingbrook, Illinois. Ton of different locals, great people, great vibes. So if you want to check them out, I'll drop their TCG player link in the video description down below, along with our socials. But in this particular matchup, we've got Cooper playing WarGreymon Toolbox. And we've got Jose playing his BT-16 armors build. At Sully's, towards the end of the format, everybody's gotten a little bit stale for it. So we decided, hey, you know what? Screw it. Let's get some proxies in. Let's all practice for regionals that are coming up next month. And just kind of spice things up a little bit. So we do have proxies for both sides. So these are sort of BT-16 ready decks. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And lastly, before we hop into the video itself, if you like our content, you like what you see, please do consider hitting the like and subscribe button. It would really, mean a lot to us, and it helps the channel out a whole lot. So please consider doing so. But without further ado, let's hop right into the round over here.
So I'm in the camp that I think WarGreymon is still pretty decent going in the next set. I know we've talked about it a little bit.
I agree, yeah.
It's one of the few decks that can DP climb higher than Tyrant and Magna X consistently. Yeah. Its biggest issue is just its consistency. That's really its only big issue, because it's still it's Greymon deck. So if it sees its line, it can pop off. If it doesn't see its line, it kind of just sits there and cries about it.
Right. Pretty decent start from both players here. I know some opinions are torn between the Promo Davis. I know you're sort of the camp of he's okay. He's not necessarily a 4-of, right?
I think he's good at 2. I think any more than 2 is a bit too much of him, because he only lets you play a VMon for free and then you gain a memory start a turn. But 3-cost Tamers are pretty easily counterable by a lot of things in the game. We also have a lot more Tamer control in general. I think he's decent, but I think that the other Tamers for Magna X offer more value for Magna X in particular.
Sure.
Davis is just a good card to kind of get you off the ground or have at least some sort of start. So I don't know. That's just me though. That's my opinion. I think there's just the deck space is sort of weird. It's so toolboxy with Magna X that there's almost more.
How did Jose get a third or second restand? Did I miss something? Because then he swung twice.
He swung 2 checks. Then he's going into Just GX.
What?
He's using Just GX to activate the one Digivolving effect of the Magna X that he tucked to restand and then blitz.
Gotcha. And
then he swings for 3 checks. That's
okay. So it was he restood technically as after GX, but he just okay. So whoa. Well, I mean, a turn 2 Magna X into a GX is not not bad at all.
No. And it's also immune to effects right now, so nothing can be done about it.
Yeah.
It did give a lot of memory over to Coop. Coop's doing the math, so and we know right now it did its check. So I got +3 off of that. Got +3 off of that. Getting tucked, so it's currently 21k.
Right.
With the VMon, because 2 more colors, it is 22k.
So if there's a deck that can do it, it's WarGreymon that can climb above it. But Coop decides to go Metal Gray X, does end up doing
+2, +3.
Okay.
Black or Gray X.
Yeah. So we'll do his so minus 12k to pop the Agu, and then does a third tech to drop a VMon, which is a bit unfortunate. Reboot, pop the VMon, because I think originally you would have just popped the GX there and then. But
well, it's a Yeah, it's opponent's turn. He unsuspends because reboot pops that. GX is there. He does have blocker with the Black Wargray X. Jose did lose his DP increases.
Yeah.
However, he only needs to swing twice here, and then it's over. Yeah, that's enough to create anyways. Although I think Jose just said because he can only block it once. He can't. Oh, I guess he has X-Antibody and sources, so
yeah, he can redirect one.
He can redirect one, and then block one off the top.
Yeah.
Yes, never mind. I forgot about the redirect.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, because GX wasn't once it passed over to Jose's turn, like the effect immunity was gone, right? So like in theory, if he didn't hit the Davis, the Black War restand pop with the X antibody underneath would have just popped the GX, correct? Because that was the only thing on board, at least at the moment, at the start of turn before main phase.
Yeah,
so
but it's opponent's turn before there's any protection. So yeah, you're correct. But
yeah, I mean,
that's the one good thing. That's the one good thing about Black Wargray X is that he can counter Magna X in that way, where Magna X's protections will fall off before his effective pop him will.
Yeah.
So then he'll be able to very easily, do his whole thing where he can just pop the Magna X and that forces your opponent to have to evo into another one or something, which is going to cost them 4 or 5 unless they have Awakening. But we see Coop doing some good search. He has a rookie in the back. Looks like Jose is whiffed on a rookie, so he's just trying to get a little bit.
The memory setter TK, I think, is very interesting for Magna X in general. I mean, I think we see sort of initially like the vaccine armors sort of utilize TK probably a little bit more, but I mean, straight up armors can utilize TK very much just as easily, right? That kind of pseudo blinding ray to just remove something from your security stack with the search, proc effect, and being able to give yourself 3 memories pretty good. Then we see Coop go into a Wargray here. We'll able to raid into the Magna, pierce through for a check at a big number, and then second check is an Awakening, and then plays out a training for 2. So honestly, sitting in a really good spot.
Yeah. And then reboots. Doesn't have blocker, but is a big body.
And Jose doesn't even have a rookie established right now.
Yeah, I don't think he even has a rookie in hand.
Jeez. That is the one thing I will say is that, I was able to get some games in with Jose before like local started today. Oh my, he just straight up passed.
You run so much other weird stuff in the deck that if you brick,
it becomes
you brick hard.
It becomes a very toolboxy deck, exactly, where it's like if you oh no.
He has to have the hand. Security. Yeah. That's the risk with those TKs. The TK is really, really good for Magna X, but it's rough that's the risk of running it. Just when you hit it out of security, you potentially just lose a security and don't recover anything.
Yeah, but you become so toolboxy that, I think one of the draws of like old armors, like pre-Magna X, was just how low to the ground consistent it was. Whereas here, like, it's still very consistent. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like a huge sacky deck, but it's like you said, if you brick, sometimes it's
a very
awkward way to do stuff. Yeah,
because it doesn't have as many searchers because you don't run trainings. You only really have like one searcher V unless you're running the STV, which the ST9V is okay. He's not great.
Right.
He's a VMon. Oh, wow. Just drop the gray. Okay. So he'll bounce it off the Evo there. I'm guessing Coop was gummed up, didn't have a level 5 in hand.
Awakening to go into Magna. Fair enough. So, we talk a lot of... Yeah, go ahead.
Did he play the TK turn 1? Oh, that's what he did turn 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talk a lot about... Oh, my lord. Goodbye.
Didn't he just Evo into that?
No. It was the other turn.
What?
Yeah. I
see Coop passed back over. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we talk a lot about like Magna X being like this like once it's on the board, it's like, oh, you can't do anything, which is fair, right? I think there's a tweet like Kavinsky TCG had where it's like it's almost like a big floodgate to sort of like lower like meme rogue tier decks where like you kind of you shut them out of the game, which I totally agree with. Yeah. But it is still very like manageable, right? Because I mean, as we're seeing here, there are ways to deal with it. You can raid into it. If it hits an option in security, before you can proc effect, it's kind of good night. Another thing too that you can kind of deal with it is that even if it is on board, right? Like it's not, unless you have the Zubagon Punch or the Shoe with Alliance tech, it's really only doing like 1 or 2 checks. So like you do have like a turn or two where you can find ways to deal with it or work your way around it. So it's not like an instant OTK. It can feel like an OTK with how oppressive it can be. But at the same time, like you're not sort of like locked out of the game almost immediately. Like you can still try to respond.
We do see an ST.
It's pretty big.
ST-16, ST-17. I don't remember what it is at this point. I think it's ST-17. Magna come out of security. Is able to strip. We'll go Black or Gray X. No X-Antibody source to tuck though, so he can't pop the Magna off the restand.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. But I mean, still like not a bad spot. Like unless Jose's got the Magna X again, which
Jose looks a little gummed up in the hand. Yeah, looks like he's having a little bit of trouble finding pieces. He has 2 blinding rays. He has a Zubagon, but Zubagon's not gonna do anything for him here, really.
Yeah.
Is that 2 Death X in hand?
Jeez.
Is that Death X? Am I crazy?
It looks like it. That's a hand. Another TK.
Just keep on digging through security.
Oh no! If he hits another, if there's no yellow card, that's bad news bears.
I think Jose's realizing that he maybe shouldn't have done that.
That's the like you said. That is the very scary part, where it's like if you grab it, you're in a huge ton of trouble if you just sack security.
I think running 3. Okay, he does have. He was debating on pulling Heaven's Judgment out, but the Heavens doesn't do anything against Black or Gray X. He's 13k base, so he's gonna be 15, 16 with a tie. So the Heavens doesn't do anything there.
Yeah.
We'll push the Agu up. Is debating to use the start of main to Evo. We'll do it. We'll gain the memory. Go to 2. That Magna X or that Magnamon is a blocker. See, this is the thing too. Is I also wouldn't run 3 of those TK either. I feel like that's too much because you're just.
I feel like 2 at most.
Yeah. Again, it's like 2. Even just a 1 of is fine. I think you just need a memory setter. Just you have so much cycle if you see your line anyways that you should be able to see it pretty easily.
Fair enough. Yeah, Coop.
We'll just
ahead
swing
to
for 2 checks.
And then Blitz Omni for game.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So WarGreymon Toolbox takes it. Look at that. Look at that.
And I think that's a good demonstration of how, like, this is, Magnamon X, we've already shown it on the channel multiple times now, I think.
Yeah.
Is very beatable. It is definitely just like, it's basically like a turn floodgate, like, because I know how you're saying it's like a floodgate before. It's basically like a floodgate to your turn, right? Where you're like pretty much, unless you have a way of getting around a blocker, you're probably not going to have much to do that turn. Unless you're trying to set up something that's going to linger until your opponent's end of turn, when Magna X is vulnerable. So it's very, very much it's rough because it does lock out a lot of like rogue tier and like fun tier decks that can maybe do something against other decks in the meta, but with Magna X there, they just can't participate at all because they don't have a way around it. But by no means is it an undefeatable card.
Yeah.
That being said, its type of protection though is not healthy for the game. I do not think that Digimon should be immune to opponents' effects in general. I think it should be Digimon or option, like pick one or the other. Don't make it the entire.
Yeah, that sort of like blanket immunity it's scary. Especially
I think it's not a healthy power scaling.
Exactly. Yeah, especially with how things have evolved over time. Like that effect, if it keeps going in that way, very unhealthy.
Because last thing I'll say about it, because I know we're going for a bit longer, but because it means that either we're going to get more effects like that to compete with it, or we're going to get more like ridiculous removal effects to get around it or to linger with it that just hurt decks that don't have that. So anyways, yeah.
Very good points. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Like TJ was saying, this I think is a good example. Nothing against Magna X or armors, but I think it does show that yes, it's a very strong deck, but there are ways around it, and there are decks that can compete with it. So, let us know what you guys think. Hopefully this helps folks who are preparing for the regional season coming up, who are looking to play something different than armors. And yeah, let us know what other techs you guys see envision being good plays against armors. Let us know what decks you're running or thinking will have a good chance against armors itself. Wink, wink. Maybe check out the tier list video, maybe that we're gonna be doing later tonight. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for the support. We really do appreciate every one of you, and we'll catch you on that flippy flip. Bye bye.